So hello everyone, and welcome back to Sakura Unboxing. So welcome to my February and March figure hauls. I decided to combine these 2 months because there really wasn't a lot of figures for each month. I did get some delays, so I thought, hey, why not kill two birds with one stone and just combine these 2 months together. So yes, we'll start off of course with February, so without further ado, let us get started. So before I get into this video, I do want to talk about some delays for some of the figures, as well as some cancellations. So in February, I'll start off with the delay. So the Anubis 1/7 scale figure by Freewell Studio, that unfortunately got delayed. I do have her now as I'm recording this video, but yeah, she's been already delayed several times. And then the other figure that got delayed in March and didn't release until May was the Toho Project Cerno 1/7 Summer Frost version by Solarin. Again, I have her now, but you know, she did get delayed in March. And then the one figure that I cancelled because it kept getting delayed so many times was the Overlord Albedo 1/7 Gyoso version by Idolite Figure. Now, this figure kept getting delayed so many times. It did release in June of 2024, but that's quite a significant jump. So I just decided to cancel this figure, plus I don't know Albedo as a character. I haven't really watched Overlord, so it just justified me canceling this figure. So going into February of 2024, I have a couple of merch items I picked up, along with some Nendoroid doll outfits, 1 Nendoroid, and 2 scale figures. So yeah, let us start off with the little merch items I picked up. So starting off with the first 2 merch items right here, I picked up 2 FGO bracelets. Of course I had to pick the Oberon one and the Ashidomon one. So yes, here are the bracelets right here. I'll show them closer in some b-roll, but yeah, I really like the colors that they have. It's supposed to be the colors of the character. I do like the Domon one, maybe slightly more than the Oberon one. And there's also like a little clear charm of the servant class that they are. So yeah, just the only issue with these bracelets is that there is quite the significant gap. I don't think these came in different sizes, which is unfortunate, so I don't know how else I would wear these unless I just slide them down my wrist like that. But yeah, like the colors, but I do wish that they came in some different sizes. So next up we have this FGO wall scroll. Now, I don't really tend to buy wall scrolls on their own, you know, unless it comes with a figure, then sure. But I had to just pick this one up because it has both Merlin and Oberon in it. I believe it's based on the White Day CE in the game. So yes, absolutely stunning artwork. I do also like the blue and the little flower pattern on here. And yeah, it's just a stunning wall scroll that I'll show of course in some b-roll. So yeah, I definitely like to display this in the future because they both look so handsome in this wall scroll. And then the last pickup I have is of course Witch Hat Atelier. So we have volume 13 in Japanese. The reason why I pre-order these is to get the limited edition bonus with this. So yeah, once again, gorgeous artwork. Kustas is on the front of this cover, and it honestly might be my favorite looking one of the volumes released so far. I just really like the colors in it, and just the way Kustas' outfit kind of flows. And then of course the little pre-order bonus with this is an eco bag, so a reusable bag that you can use. And yeah, I like the design on it, and it comes with a cute little witch hat pouch that you can store it in. I don't know if I'll use this. Probably not for grocery shopping because I want to keep it pretty, you know, clean. But yeah, just another little bonus for my Witch Hat Atelier collection. And then we're going on to the figures. I mean, these are not figures, but these are accessories for some. And these are some Nendoroid doll Chinese outfits. So I only got really 1 for like the boy and like 2 for the girl. And yeah, so I really liked, again, the designs of these, the craftsmanship, the little accessories like the purse and the shoes as well. Originally I did have 3 more of these pre-ordered, but I just decided to cut it in half because some of them had the same sort of outfit style, but with different like designs, like with the pandas and the dragons on there. But just to save a little bit of money, I just decided to cut it in half. Yeah, Very cute. I hope to use these in the future to display with some of my Nendoroid dolls. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover for that section because I accidentally deleted the clip for this part. So yes, we're going to be going over the Mitsuri Konroji Nendoroid from Demon Slayer. And yeah, so box is pretty cute. Again, I like how they have the sort of symbols of the Hashira on there. Very cute, pink as well. And going into accessories, so she does have 3 different facial expressions. This much more serious one right here, which I really like. A standard smiling expression, and then also an embarrassed expression. I do like her hair sculpt and the paintwork on there with the gradient from pink to green. Her little braids also have ball joints, which is nice for a little bit extra posability. In terms of other accessories besides different hands and leg parts, she really only has her katana, which you can do with sheathed and unsheathed. I do like the way that the unsheathed version looks, the sculpt of like the whip sword. I do wish that maybe they did a flexible material so you can have different posable options. I think that would have been neat instead of this one single pose. And it was a little bit tricky to kind of wrap it around her body, but you know, I managed. And then also a little Sakura mochi she comes with. But yeah, I wish that she also came with some breathing effect parts. It's kind of unfortunate that she doesn't. And yeah, I'm slowing down on these Demon Slayer Nendoroids, by the way. Moichiro will be my last Demon Slayer Nendoroid, and I'm just gonna wait until they go on sale in the future to pick any of them up. So moving on to this massive figure right here, we have the Jujutsu Kaisen Sukuna Shibuya Scramble 1/7 figure by Eastream. So yes, this one took a while to get to me. It does say he released in December. Probably some people got him in January. Unfortunately, I got him off of Solaris Japan, and I guess they didn't have him at their warehouse at the time, so I didn't get him till February, so that's why he's in this video. But yeah, Sukuna, an asshole character who I like watching him on screen. And yeah, so positives I have for this figure are definitely the sculpt. I always feel like Eastream does a fantastic job with the sculpts on their figures, like the wrinkles, the folds, the bases of their figures. Obviously, Sukuna's abs look chiseled and defined. I love that. Also, the mouth sculpts, I feel like for the most part, they're always pretty good. Like, if you mess up a mouth, it's gonna look awful on a figure. But yeah, I like the way they sculpted his teeth and just that menacing smile that he has as he's completely destroying this cursed spirit in the back. I just really like the way the set piece looks overall. So I also like the cursed spirit that he just demolished in the background. I like the sculpting on like the gums and how they made it glossy. Yeah, so very nice, like different kinds of paint application and finishes to the figure, which I like. And yeah, in terms of assembly, you just stick him on the base, and then the little fence is also a separate piece. So yeah, very easy assembly, which is very good. So I feel like the one thing I wish that they did a little bit more of with this figure is the shading. I'm kind of sitting in like a dark spot, so I can't see everything 100%. Or just if the shading is just very subtle, I can't really notice it sitting right here. But yeah, maybe a little bit more on the abs, maybe a little bit more on his hair as well. I feel like the Furyu Sukuna, it is also just one color, it looks like. And then I also feel like this yellow jacket that he's like completely ripping off, could have used some more shading. It just feels like American cheese yellow, and then that's really it. So yeah, again, because Eastream figures are, you know, more on the luxury side, the much more expensive side. I wish that they would have just put more shading in it just to, you know, warrant the price tag, I'd say. But yeah, besides that issue, I think he looks great. Just how menacing he looks. I don't know. I enjoy just the composition of this figure. So yes, of course I have this Sukuna, and I still have the Furyu one, which I'll probably show them side by side. I like both of them for different reasons. So I'm not too sure down the line if I'll sell one of them. You know, I'm kind of thinking of doing it just because I'd rather have one Sukuna figure in my collection. But this one is definitely pretty nice, so if you can get them for much cheaper than I did, I highly recommend it if you are a big Sukuna fan. Now, the last figure I have for February, yet another Fire Emblem figure, and this is the Fire Emblem Heroes Veronica 1/7 scale figure by Intelligent Systems. So yes, I do have to say that this might be one of my favorites from the newer Fire Emblem figures. I just like the pose. This outfit is based off of her legendary outfit in the game, and I think the pose is pulled directly from one of the artworks, her attack animation. So yes, I absolutely love the way that the tome looks. I feel like that's a big highlight to this figure. Just the red, orange, and yellow effect part, and how it gets a little bit more pink as you get closer to the center of the tome. Very nice touch. I just love the way that it looks. Also, in terms of the paint, the gold is applied very well. No bleeding, which is good. I think that happens with those kinds of paints sometimes. And yeah, just the sculpting on everything is well done, from her outfit to like the armor parts of it, the feathers, and also her hair. Yeah, all of it's just super well done, and to top it all off, she comes on a pretty small base, which I do very much appreciate. It's not obnoxiously large. And yeah, I feel like this figure is honestly pretty space-friendly, which is very nice. In terms of assembly, it's just simply putting her on the base. I would be careful, like, to not scrape the gold on her shoe, because I kind of did against the metal peg a little bit, and it rubbed it off, so I'd be careful with that. Her little wing pieces on the back are a separate piece, as well as her arm with the tome. And then this little piece in like that goes like kind of around her shoulders behind her, I don't know what you call that. That's also a separate piece, which I did kind of struggle slightly to put in. But other than that, I feel like the assembly is relatively easy, nothing too painful to do. But yeah, after all that, you get a pretty cool Fire Emblem figure. You know, still a little bit expensive. Like, this was, I think, $187. I did order this off of Good Small Global. Then it ended up becoming $200, which, yeah, maybe could have been a little bit less in terms of overall price. But thankfully not as expensive as the Roy and Lilina. I will never forgive them for giving them that price tag. It was ridiculous. Yeah, Veronica definitely feels like maybe a little bit worth more than those two. And yeah, I hope they do also do more Fire Emblem hero characters, because there's some very cool designs in the game, so I hope they do that in the future. But yeah, definitely one of the better looking Fire Emblem figures from this line. And next up we have yet another Fate figure, which is the Fate Extella Link Charlemagne SPM figure by Sega. So Charlemagne has one of my favorite character designs. He's probably my favorite Saber class servant. And yeah, I think that the silver paint is very well done on him. The line work is also very well done with the paint, like on his scabbard and on his outfit. So yeah, I feel like the coloring is pretty well done on this figure. It's not too messy. I like the way the sword looks, his face, and the sculpt on his hair. And again, I just really like black and white haired characters. So yeah, I snagged him off of OmniAmi pre-owned. So yeah, I'm happy to have this Charlemagne figure. I would like a nice scale figure of him. I love him so much. So yeah, another story I have is that, you know, I got this figure in time for when the Charlemagne banner dropped on NA in FGO. And, you know, I was like, hey, I could use this as a catalyst to pull him in game. And it didn't quite work at all. I did spend some money to get Charlemagne because I really, really wanted him. I ended up NP5ing Roland, and now it's like I hate Roland because all of those cards of him could have been Charlemagne, and I didn't have to, you know, spend the money just to try and pull him. And yeah, so but yeah, I'm happy just to have him in game, because again, I love his character design so much, and just character in general. So yeah, very nice little Charlemagne figure right here. So now we're moving on to this very adorable Nindroid right here, which is the Vocaloid Hatsune Miku, the vampire version by Good Small Company. She just turned out absolutely adorable. I especially love the facial expressions. All of just, you know, the eyes and the details on her face look so very well done. They're so cute and playful. Also the details on her ears with the sculpting, with the piercings, also turned out fantastic. There really isn't any paint bleeding or anything that's very messy looking. Very nice job. Yeah, and you know, even though she really doesn't come with anything like too outstanding in terms of accessories, I feel like that's just pretty much all we need for this Ninjaroid. It's not like she has any weapons or anything. So besides different arms and leg parts, she also comes with these clear bat wings. I did see some people wish that it was an actual like PVC part and not just this clear transparent material to put to her back. But I don't really mind it so much. I mean, it could be a struggle to put on her if you want to display her that way. And she also does come with a face mask, which of course is part of the character. I don't really plan on displaying her with that, really, because of staining. I don't want the black mask to stain her face whatsoever if I display her for a long period of time. So I definitely love to see more of the Deco 27 Miku designs made into figures. Maybe more from the line that this character is from, or album I should say, which is Mannequin. And then also, you know, the Rabbit Hole Miku. I feel like she's pretty iconic and infamous as well. I think that would be pretty cool to do as maybe a pop-up parade large or also a Ninjaroid. So yes, I'm excited to see more, you know, different versions of Miku from different songs be turned into figures. And now we're moving on to this absolutely adorable Ninjaroid doll right here, which is the Vocaloid Hatsune Miku Sakura Miku Hanami outfit version by Good Small Company, who looks absolutely stunning. I love the way that she looks. Again, kind of a no-brainer pre-order for me because I am a sucker for Sakura. And yeah, the outfit design turned out fantastic. There's nothing really fraying or ripping, which is nice. So yeah, in terms of other little accessories, she does have her purse as well as the hat. The hat does have one of those little plastic tab things that you stick between the bangs and then the back of the head, which again, I wish they would do magnets. It'd just be so much easier, especially if that tab breaks, then you're in trouble. In terms of posability, it's the same as, you know, your typical Ninjaroid doll. Of course, Miku's twin tails rotate, and I absolutely love the sort of pink pearlescent finish to the hair and just the transition down the twin tails to the very ends, how they also look like cherry blossom petals. So yes, yet another adorable Ninjaroid doll to add to my collection. I just love the design so much. They did a fantastic job with her. I'm also excited for the Hanami outfit scale figure of her, just to have them side by side. So yes, yet another adorable Ninjaroid doll to add to my collection. After that, we're moving on to the two scale figures now. I believe both of them released in December, but I put them on Surface, so I'm reviewing them for this month. And this is the Danganronpa Nanami Chiaki B-Style 1/4 Black Bunny version by Freeing. So yes, a re-release recolor of a figure that was quite expensive in the aftermarket. So yeah, I do like the way she looks overall. The body sculpt looks very nice. You can definitely see that there's some nice shading on the bunny suit itself. Unfortunately, not so much on her little hand warmers. I'm not too sure what those are, as well as the little bunny hat. I wish there was more shading there. Yeah, the shoes look cute. I like the little pop of pink there. Her facial expression is pretty well done, nothing too off about it. And the little clip in her hair has some very nice decal application. And yeah, also very nice hair sculpt too. So yeah, my only really gripe is that, you know, the little other clothing pieces that she had, I wish would have more shading. And the bunny hat unfortunately doesn't look like it's like fuzzy or furry, like the sculpt doesn't really give that off, which is unfortunate. I wish they would have took a little bit more time with that to make it look like that, but yeah. Also a pretty space-friendly bunny. She's a pretty short character, I believe, so when I put her next to some of my other bunnies, like my binding bunnies, she kind of is, you know, definitely a lot smaller in comparison. Also, the box she came in was pretty small, which, you know, for a 1/4, you know, I appreciate the smaller box. So yeah, very cute bunny figure to add to my collection. So now moving on to the very last figure right here, which kind of is fitting the fall/Halloweeny vibes that's coming up. And this is the Halloween Succubus 1/7 Deluxe Edition by Astrum Design. This is my first figure from this manufacturer. So yes, I do have a bunch of things to talk about with this figure later down the line in terms of Aftermarket, which I'll get into, but let's start off with the bonuses that she came with. So the first item we have right here is the bonus postcard that also comes with the standard edition, I believe. So yeah, it just has the original artwork, which I do quite like. Slightly bigger than my normal postcards that I get, so I just have it displayed at the bottom of my shelf, so I just hope to find a little bit of a better spot for her in the future. And the other thing that comes with the deluxe edition specifically is the bonus wall scroll, again, of the same original artwork. So if you really like that artwork and you want it on a bigger scale, I guess go the deluxe edition route just to get the wall scroll. And now moving on to the figure herself, which kind of worried me a little bit because again, I already paid for her. She was on Surface and I saw some My Figure Collection user photos. I feel like a lot of people were talking about the face, how it does kind of look a little bit off at certain angles. In person, I don't think she looks too bad. I think it's just the way you display her. Her eyes look maybe a little bit derpy. But safe to say, I feel like it looks pretty good on my copy. And moving on to things I do quite like about this figure is the sculpt work. I think they did a fantastic job on her body sculpt, her hair, her clothing, what there is of her clothing on her. And yeah, just the base as well with the flooring and the walls and all that. And I actually really like the shading in some parts of this figure. Like on her big sleeves, I just really love the orange that they used and that transition to that yellow. It just looks very well done, just very eye-catching to me. And yeah, also I think a little bit of darker shading as well as on her wings, and then also on her hair a little bit. So yeah, also her shoes have a very nice pearlescent finish to them, and there's just some nice shading on the base as well with the pumpkins and the sort of pavement and such. And yeah, so paint job wise, I think it's very well done. Thankfully, no paint bleeding or mishaps anywhere. In terms of assembly, you just simply put her on the base. I believe there's some parts that come separate, like one of the pumpkins, this little wall behind her, the fence, and then the little other metal piece that kind of has a hook for the lantern. That's all separate, and then her hat as well, which is magnetic, so you just put it on her head. And yeah, relatively easy assembly, which is nice. But yeah, very nice little set piece. And despite people's complaints, I cannot bring myself to really hate this figure or dislike it. I think she just turned out super cute, and I just really love the shading done on the figure as well as the sculpt. But yes, let us get into just some things about this figure that happened aftermarket-wise, which, you know, at the end of the day, I probably should have waited till, you know, she finally released to pick her up. So now we're going to go into the aftermarket for this figure, which, let me tell you, it hurt a lot to see. You know, I was just browsing through sales on AmiAmi and I came across the figure. So the regular edition went from 29,700 yen to 13,365 yen, which is under $100, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, I pretty much took off like about 16,000 yen. And now we're going on to the deluxe edition, which is still up on AmiAmi for sale, which went from 35,750 yen to 15,500 yen, which is about a 20,000 yen price difference. And yeah, so it's just pretty much $110 on AmiAmi. Needless to say, when I saw that, my heart just sank. Like, I did not expect that to be a massive price drop, which is unfortunate. So yes, sometimes it just pays to wait for a figure to go on sale. Like, I don't know, I was just stubbornly keeping my pre-order. So yeah, again, I still really like her, but again, 35,000 yen I think was definitely a lot for them to ask for. And yeah, so if you want to get her off of AmiAmi now while she's still on sale. So now going into the light up feature for the figure, which thanks to a My Figure Collection comment, I figured it out. So yeah, we're starting off with this jack-o'-lantern right here, which you just pop the top off, and that little green square is the light source for the figure. It does have a battery behind it, so I'm just gonna pop it out of the jack-o'-lantern, and then also off of the other little lantern right here, which is located right at the top part of it. So yeah, these are our light sources. Now, they had these little white strips that were tucked between the battery and the light, I guess so it doesn't drain. And then we have the little key component to actually turning on the lights, which is this pumpkin right here, which has a magnet right at this peg. So yeah, all you pretty much have to do is just touch the magnet to the battery and it just lights up, which I have to say it was pretty cool finally figuring that out. And then, yeah, thankfully the plastic on the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern I should say, and then the lantern is pretty thin, so you don't have to keep taking the light in and out. But yeah, I'm going to show you both ways you could light the pieces up. And yeah, so I would maybe also be careful with these little lights. They could be a little bit fragile, just handle them with care. And if you do need it replaced, I'm sure you can find it online. But yeah, very cool little feature, I have to say. It just elevated my love for the figure a little bit more. And yeah, I'll have some darker b-roll a little bit later. It was still kind of daytime. I had my shades like covering my windows just to make it a little bit darker. But yeah, super cool little feature with the deluxe edition of the figure. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking the deluxe edition version for this cool feature. So that overall concludes this video on this 2-month figure haul. So let me know what were your favorites from this video. If you would like to, of course, feel free to take the time to subscribe to my channel to see what other figure and merch related shenanigans I get into next. So I hope you'll have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night wherever you are, and take it easy. Goodbye.